From Target Field in Minneapolis, interleague baseball on MLB The Show. It's the St. Louis Cardinals taking on the Minnesota Twins. And now here's the starter for Minnesota, Bailey Ober. And for some reason, he's not quite as effective here in front of his home crowd, Chris.
Yeah, Boog, and the fans are well aware of that. For him, he's got to just not press and go out there and say, hey, I'm just treating this like any start. Home, on the road, it doesn't matter. My job is to focus on that catcher's mitt, attack hitters, and just try to move through a ball game. So if he can find that kind of focus, doesn't matter where he's pitching because he has good enough stuff to go out there and win a ball game.
Oh, great stop. Fires to first. It's there, and that's a great play. Here's a Cardinals lineup now. And so far this year, this has not been a very good offense.
Well, in this day and age, if you can't slug and get on base, that OPS has to be at a certain level. If you're going to produce runs, give your pitchers an opportunity as they're facing tough offenses as well.
Ripped to first, caught.
That at bat is a positive sign, even though it probably doesn't feel like it. He hit the ball hard, but it doesn't always work out in your favor. Sometimes a defender is there to make a play.
Alec Burleson at the plate now. That's ball one.
Ball.
And that one hammered into the corner, but foul. Two down, nobody on. That one hammered, but pulled foul. Just missed.
Damn.
And a foul ball. He stays alive. Swings through it for the K. He battled for a long time, but it finishes with a strikeout. Leading off, Cody Clemens. Clemens getting the start at third, hitting leadoff in today's game, and his slugging percentage this season is right around .470.
He's just missing with some pitches that, I mean, they're not strikes, and that's what you think, oh, good pitch is a strike, but so many times pitchers are trying to tease the zone, and the last two pitches that he's thrown, good pitches, but even better takes.
3-0 down. Here's a swing and a line drive, and that's a base hit into right field. So a man on base to start the inning.
That swing is all about confidence, sitting pretty with a 3-0 count and using it to your advantage instead of wasting what turned out to be a good opportunity. A great job of hitting, and the result is a single. Good stuff.
Here comes the 0-1.
Ball.
Curveball kind of backed up on him there. I think it just slid out of the hand a little bit too soon.
This one in the air. Sajazi gets under it. Takes it in for the out. And now we take a peek at the Twins lineup. A guy who's been huge for them over the last month plus, Cody Clemens. Matt Wallner, the batter now, as he swings and misses for strike one. His home run numbers stand out, Chris. Nobody has hit more in his team. Swing and a high fly ball, well struck. That's got a chance. That's down. One hops off the wall.
Couldn't have timed it up any better than that. Got a fastball, middle of the plate, jumped all over it. Absolutely smoked that ball.
And that one is lifted in the air. Walker on the move to the alley. Brings it in. Here comes the runner from third. And they'll score first. It's 1-0.
That play really shows how important it is to hit the cutoff man. Looked like he tried to throw through and get the runner at home, but it backfired, and it ended up costing them a run. I remember my rookie year overthrowing a cutoff man. Didn't last long before I was pulled aside by a veteran pitcher. He had a talk with me. I don't know if I ever missed a cutoff man again.
Trevor Larnach in now. Takes ball one off the plate. Hot shot to first base, and he snags it to end the inning. On now to the top half of inning number 2. Now up the Cardinals' number 4 hitter, Jordan Walker. That's in there at the knees, and it's strike 2. Dave Lawrence behind the plate today. Consistent and pretty accurate with the balls and strikes.
Yeah, he's one of those guys, Spook, that just keeps the game moving. Nothing overly unique about the strike zone that he calls, and as a result, he's appreciated by both sides.
The 0-2. Gets a piece and stays alive. The 0-2. Keeps the at-bat going with a foul ball. Popped up left side. Lopez has a beat on it. Takes it in for the out.
Batting fifth, the shortstop, Mason Wynn.
Check swing called strike. 0-1.
Ball one.
This one popped up. Lopez under it. And there's 2 down.
Got the pitch that he wanted, just a little bit quick. Front shoulder open, backside collapsed a little bit, and the launch angle not where he needed it to be.
Victor Scott in the box here lets that one go for a ball. Swing and a grounder, foul first base side. 2 down, nobody on.
Ball, that's down.
Hammered down the right side, but foul. Now all even up. And he grounds one to the right side. He takes it himself to the bag, and that'll do it. Bottom of the second, and now for the Twins, Josh Bell. On the ground, and that chance handled. Tosses to first. Leadoff man retired here in the second.
Batting 7, the shortstop, Otto Lopez.
Swing and a ball lifted in the air left field. Pretty well struck. Going down. A solo shot. His 9th homer of the year, and they add to the lead. It's 2-0.
He hasn't been at his best at the plate these last few games, so this could end up being an important home run for him. Maybe it's a sign of more to come. Boog, I wasn't sure he hit that one as hard as he needed to get it out of here, but it had just enough behind it for the homer. What an attempt at the wall, though. He really gave...
Well struck right field. And that one is off the top of the wall. One down. So up next for Minnesota, Kalen Culpepper.
Sometimes a hitter will go up there and guess, and it's not just pulling something out of the sky, but expecting, because of tendencies, a certain pitch in a certain location. He just guessed wrong.
That's a ball.
Well, that two-seamer's heat-seeking for right-handed batters. Just runs in on those hands.
And a 1-2. On the ground, a short could be 2. There's 1, and that's 2. Minnesota solo shot extends the lead. Welcome back. Let's check out what's been happening of late. Really been struggling. And a liner out into right center for a base hit. Now he'll turn for second. It's a leadoff double to start the third.
Just a great approach. Looked like that was exactly what he wanted to do with that pitch. And right off the bat, he knew he was taking that wide turn at first to head for second.
Runner in scoring position. No outs. Here's Baez. Close one. Doesn't get the call. Ball 1. Challenge from behind the dish here. And that one did find the strike zone. They'll keep both their challenges. Man at second. Chris, he leads the way with the best batting average on the team. Fouled off down the right side. The 1-2. Fouls it back with 2 strikes. Tapped softly on the ground. Throws to first, and one away in the top of the third. Foul ball there. And he's currently the team leader in batting average, Chris. To the right side. Play it home. He's safe. It's 2-1. Back to the leadoff spot in the St. Louis lineup. Here's Nolan Gorman. Grounded out to short in his first trip. And that one is downstairs. Ball one. Singy's currently the team leader in runs batted in. That's a strike. And 1-1. Man at first, one away. High fly ball out to center field. And there's two away.
Up next for the Cardinals, the catcher, Ivan Herrera.
Close, but called a ball. Ball one. Looked like a strike to me, and here comes the challenge. It just shaved the zone, so they've still got both their challenges. And that one hit to first. Hot shot, and he can't knock it down. And that extends the inning. First and second, 2 outs. Alec Burleson next up for the Cardinals. That one pulled foul. Two on, 2 outs. In for a strike, and now just one pitch away from surviving the inning. That's to third. Throws across the diamond. That ends the inning, and they limit the damage. 2 men left stranded, but they do push across one. Welcome back. Let's take a look at how the series has played out so far. Ripped right field. That's back there. That one way back, and it's gone. He sends it out of here, and they add a run. It's 3-1. He only needed one swing to square it up.
Not wasting any time in that at bat, Boog. Aggressive, and it paid off.
That one fouled off.
Well, these Twins doing a good job of putting the ball into play, and that makes things more challenging on the defensive side. And here's a stat for you, Boog. They're making contact with more than 85% of the pitches that they're swinging at. It's pretty special stuff. Not so good if you're out there on the mound.
Strike 2.
Always exciting to see a leadoff home run in an inning. Kind of gets the offense fired up, and you start to expect a big inning.
Fly ball pretty well struck right field. Carrying well. Feeling for the wall as he makes the catch.
Well, that one ended up a lot closer to home run than I thought off the bat. Clearly didn't get it all. But with that wind blowing out to right, almost pushed that one over the wall.
Wallner at the plate now, and that's strike 1.
Ball, that's off the plate.
Last couple of pitches breaking balls away. I think he's going to have to come firm inside to be able to open up that location if he wants to go back there later in this count.
And a strike on the outside edge. Swings through that one. It's a strikeout.
Up next for the Twins, the center fielder.
2 outs, base is empty. Byron Buxton, the next Twin up to hit.
Yeah.
And that one's a little bit low. And the count is 1-1.
Really good take, especially with 2 strikes.
2 down, bases empty, but 1 run across here in the last half of the 3rd. That one just misses.
He's really tightening up his hitting zone with 2 strikes here. I love it.
He gets there with the slide to first. What a play. Inning over. Twins get 1 on this homer. 3 innings complete. You're watching Minnesota Twins baseball on the Show North. On to the 4th, and stepping in for the Cardinals, Jordan Walker. Swung on, popped up left side. Clemens in position and makes the grab. 1 up, 1 down.
Up next for the Cardinals, the shortstop, Mason Wynn.
That's in there. That's strike 1. Fastball the inside corner for a strike.
He's been very consistent with his command out there on the mound, consistently throwing at the knees. Pretty impressive when a guy can repeat his delivery like this.
And they'll do it again. The Cardinals trailing by 2, top half of inning number 4.
Ball, that's upstairs.
Swings through it, and that's a strikeout.
Definitely made him chase a little bit out of the zone right there. I don't think that's a strike if he takes it. Pretty textbook pitching. Get ahead in the count, get the guy in the box on his heels, and then force him to chase your pitch where he doesn't have much of a chance to do any damage.
Short hop liner, handled it short. Throws to first in time. St. Louis goes down in order. It's the Twins 3 and the Cardinals 1. Bottom 4, and now for the Twins, Trevor Larnach.
The left fielder, number 9, Trevor Larnach.
That's a really good take right there. Slider down and in. Very difficult to get on the same plane and do anything with.
Action in the pen down there. George Soriano, the hard-throwing righty, is up and loosening. Number 67, warming up as well. That clips the corner. There's the strike.
Backdoored him with a breaking ball. Just got the corner. Stuff. You can really do with that.
And it's going to stay a strike. Still 1 challenge left for them. That one misses. Full count now. Fouled off, and they'll do it again. Payoff pitch. Cut on and miss. Struck him out. 1 away.
Inside ball.
In the air, center field. Scott settles under this one. 2 away.
The batter, number 8. Shortstop, Otto.
And now Otto Lopez. 1 for 1 so far today with a solo homer in his first at bat.
Ball.
And delivers outside. That one finds the zone. That's strike 1. Two down, nobody on. And makes the play, and that's out number 3. Twins are set down 1-2-3, but they still lead it 3-1. Back in Minnesota. And stepping in for the Cardinals, Thomas Sajazi. There's the strike.
You know, these Cards, as this game goes on, have to be more disciplined at the plate. They've been chasing pitches outside the zone all game, and it's led to some frustrating moments. They've been fooled quite a bit today.
Here's the 0-2. And he couldn't hold back. He's rung up on.
Oh, it's a pretty nasty curveball right there, and the hitter didn't look comfortable at all. Clearly fooled. Tried to check his swing and went around, but it had been called a third. Anyhow, that's how dirty it was. Nice pitch for the punch out.
Ball.
And as a pitcher, when the hitters are swinging at everything, you feel no need to challenge inside the zone. You just keep working the corners and expanding that strike zone and beyond, and they just keep eating right out of your hand.
Lays out, but he can't squeeze it. Safe at first as they can't make the play.
All over that one right there. That's one of those you classify as just too hot to handle. Hit it on the screws, and it couldn't be fielded cleanly, but you can't really blame the defense in that case.
Vermin in the box for the second time. 1 ball, no strikes. On the ground at first. Swing and a ground ball. Throws to second for 1. On to first, double play.
Poetry in motion there as the second baseman turns the double play. Nice throw to first, and that's the way to end the inning.
Back now to start the bottom of the 5th, and taking over on the mound, George Soriano.
Still pretty early in the ball game, so this bullpen has some work ahead of him. Best case scenario might be if he can come in here and get several quick outs, kind of bridge the gap that starter left for him.
Check swing. He went. That's strike 1.
Ball 2.
Ground ball off the middle. That's a base hit. And a good start to the inning. Here's the second baseman, Kalen Culpepper. 0 for 1 so far. Substitution being made at first. Here's the pinch runner for the Twins, James Outman, getting some more speed on the bases.
Man, I mean, nice job just presenting it to be better than it actually was.
Swings and misses. That is strike 2.
That split is a pretty nasty pitch. Explodes out of the hand. Looks like a fastball, and the bottom just falls out of it.
That missed by a lot. And the count 1-2. Outman gets his lead at first. Nobody out. Runner on the go. Pitch inside. Throw, save. That's a stolen base. The 2-2. Just misses with that one. I thought that was a strike, and here's a challenge. It just shaved the zone. Still 2 challenges left for them.
That slider breaking in could be a tricky pitch. If you don't finish it and have that bite at the end and it stays out over the plate, it can get hit a long way. But that was a good one right there.
Inside, ball 1.
1 out and a runner at second. Last half of inning number 5.
All sliders so far in this at bat to get ahead in the count, and clearly shows there was a game plan in mind for how to attack him in the box.
Check swing, tried to hold up. Now an appeal to third, and Matthew Ross right on it, says he held up. Man at second. Pitch misses, and it's a full count. Fights it off. He'll see another. Three and 2. Payoff pitch. Chase the fastball up the ladder for strike 3.
That's tough. You see it well.
Pitching change here. Number 67.
And that's a big potential run out there at second as he comes in trying to keep the deficit where it is. For the infielders, they got to be thinking about keeping the ball from getting by them into the outfield any way they can.
Good eye at the plate. They'll overturn the call. They'll keep their remaining challenge. Man on second, 2 down.
Inside, ball 2.
On the ground to third. Can't glove it cleanly. Still fires to first. There with plenty of time, and that ends the inning. 1 left for Minnesota as the lead remains 3-1. Back at Target Field. Close game here, and a chance now to look at a few highlights from this one. Now into the game, Ryan Jeffers. He takes over behind the plate.
Ryan Jeffers.
So up next, Ivan. Herrera.
Ivan Herrera.
In the air to left center. He won't get there. That should be extra bases. Into second easily with a leadoff double.
Pretty much just a textbook double into the gap, and when you can drop one in there between the outfielders, you know you're making the turn at first. Just an excellent swing.
This one chopped on the ground, but foul. Close, but called the ball. And the count even 1-1.
Ball, that pitch is out.
The Redbirds with the tying run at the plate, and we're in the top half of the sixth. Ground ball right side, and that's just foul. Got him looking for the strikeout. Not what you're looking for after the leadoff double. A strikeout, and there's one away. So now with one away and a man at second, Jordan Walker next up for the Cardinals.
Hitter's got some good opposite field power. What I like about something being hit to the right side into the outfield is that the base runner at second has a very good read and can determine whether or not he can score on that base hit.
A little bit low. Ball one.
Definitely a frustrating day for the offense, but when they look at it, this guy's had his best stuff. Been painting the corners, working on the edges, and changing speeds.
Oh, now this ball gets down. Headed for the plate. And now they trail by one. Safely into second. He's got a double.
Big time at bat right there. Comes through, and they're back within a run. Showed a willingness to drive that pitch the opposite way. Didn't get jumpy, didn't try to pull the ball. He let it get deep, took the barrel right to it, and then extended through the swing for the line drive base hit.
Here comes the manager out of the dugout, and he'll make a move for the bullpen. Bailey over. Jake Cousins into the game.
Well, he's been a bit of a wild card out there in terms of throwing strikes. He's definitely struggled with free passes this year. As a pitcher, you know the runner on second is ready to push things with his speed. A base hit's probably going to be a big run, so you really have to execute on the mound.
Bunting for a hit. Fires to first. Barely got him for the out. Close play.
Well, I'm pretty sure he took a look around the infield to see where they were playing before laying that one down. And everyone was playing back. You assume that's going to be a pretty easy knock. But he just couldn't put it down in the right spot to allow him to beat that out. Maybe the right idea, but he just couldn't pull it off.
Scott, the next to hit, takes ball one.
Well, he had a pretty good look at that pitch and not sure exactly what tied him up there. Couldn't pull the trigger. And perhaps the best pitch he'll see in this at-bat to hit.
Battling here as he fouls it away. Gets a piece there. We'll do it again.
Some real good life going through the zone on that one.
And a ball and 2 strikes. In there. Got him looking for the K. Huge strikeout there.
A lot of adrenaline. We can see it right there. And sometimes you just got to let it out. That's an outstanding job of taking that, executing.
Bottom of the inning. And now for the Twins, Matt Wallner.
Matt Wallner.
Here's a high chopper. Burleson takes it himself. One pitch and one out.
Up next for the Twins, the center fielder, number 25, Byron Buxton.
Movement in the bullpen for the Cardinals. Ryan Stanek, a right-hander with big strikeout stuff, is getting it fired up.
Ball, that's out.
Check swing called strike. Going to count 1-2.
Doubled up on the slider away. Two-seamer here. Just watch and see.
Caught him looking for the K.
Yeah, that's a tough pitch to stay on. You don't want to get beat inside, and as you see that pitch continue to run away from you, by the time it's in the catcher's mitt, you think it's a ball off the plate away.
Larnach in the box again, takes a strike. 2 down, nobody on. Here in the bottom of the 6th. There's a strike at the knees.
This guy's not wasting any pitches. Hitters got to get into swing mode. This is a good time to expand the zone. Throw something maybe down in the dirt.
Ball, that's down.
Struck him out looking. That was pretty nasty. Nothing doing here for the Twins, but they're up 3-2. We go to the top of the 7th, and stepping in for the Cardinals, Thomas Sajazi. Right through there for a strike. Slider for a strike. And he'll challenge that called strike. Barely a hair out of the zone, but it was a ball. They'll keep both their challenges. Looking to get the tying run on base. Ripped on the ground to second. That's the first out in the top of the 7th.
That play won't be trending on social media later on, but it's still important to execute it to perfection. This game is a lot harder than it looks, partner. The guy at the plate could recognize slider out of the hand. Didn't stay in the tunnel very long in terms of depth and perception. He knew right away it was an off-speed pitch.
On to first, and 2 away to start the 7th.
Good slider inside right there. Batter fighting to get there, just rolled over it, got the ground ball.
Fermin up for the 3rd time here, watches that one miss. And there's a foul ball. Cousins, 31 years old. He joined the team as a free agent. 2 down, nobody on.
That's ball 2.
Swing and a high fly ball, pretty well struck right field. He won't get there. That should be extra bases. And now the tying run is into scoring position.
Everything came together for him. He hit that ball really well to deep right field right there. Got a pitch to drive and just stayed through it nicely. Didn't quite have the trajectory to clear the fence, but you're always happy with an extra base hit. Now we'll see if they can pick up that tying run and start us over.
Derek Shelton out of the dugout, and he will make the move. They hand the ball over to a new arm, Taylor Rogers.
This guy's a strike thrower. He's done an excellent job of avoiding walks so far this season.
Yeah, that's in for a strike. And it's 0-1. The Twins trying to hold a 1-run lead here in the top half of inning number 7. This one in the air, center field. Buxton settles underneath it. And that's the third out.
Well, this guy competes hard. We see the emotion there. I love it. Great job of getting out of the jam.
Now pitching for the Cardinals.
We're back in a new pitcher here to start the bottom of the seventh. Ryan Stanek.
Big swing and miss stuff right here, Boog. Averaging more than 1 strikeout per inning this season. So far, he's been pretty electric. No need to offer at that pitch until you get to 2 strikes. It's just a low percentage of success when you want to try to go after that down and away pitch.
Now the 0-1. And a big swing and a miss.
From a pitcher's perspective, that's a beautiful splitter right there. As a hitter, you don't like it, but he's commanded his fastball, and out of that same tunnel, that splitter comes, and the bottom just falls out of it.
Struck him out swinging. Chased the fastball up the ladder for strike 3.
With that kind of velocity, an elevated fastball, even if it's still in the strike zone, can be tough for hitters to get on top of.
And next for Minnesota, Otto Lopez. He launched a solo shot back in the 2nd inning of this one.
Yeah, that was big for these guys early on. Definitely helped them get off onto the right foot.
Ball, that's in.
The 1-0.
Hey! Ball, that's out.
Strike 3, and that's 2 in a row.
Very strong coming out of the pen so far as he punches out the first 2 batters he's faced in this one, getting straight to work. Man, it's talked about a lot, but relievers are just so electric these days. These aren't fun at bats if you're a hitter. I'm so glad I'm retired.
That one clips the outside corner. That's strike 2. Swings and misses. And he strikes out the side in the 7th. Back in Minnesota. We go to the 8th. Ivan Herrera now at the plate. Ripped on a line to center. 1 away.
Well, off the bat, it looked like they might get that tying run on base. Maybe even extra bases. No dice, though. A little unlucky on that one.
That's off the inside corner, and it's 1-0. Towards first, down the line, and it's foul. The Twins holding on to a 1-run lead, and we're in the top of the 8th. The 1-2 stays alive. Pitch is in the dirt. Now 2-2.
This guy's a fun guy to watch taking at bat. He just battles up there. He doesn't take a pitch off at all. Makes it so difficult on the pitchers out there. You can tell they get frustrated with how long it takes to put him away.
2-2. And that skips in the dirt. Good job to fight that one off. Swing and a bouncer, but it kicks foul.
5 foul balls in this at bat so far, and these two are going head to head. You can see the crowd. They're starting to get into it a little bit more and more each pitch, even though there hasn't been a ball in play yet.
One down, runner at first. Jordan Walker next up for the Cardinals. Here comes the manager out of the Twins dugout, and he will make a move to the pen. Taylor Rogers will depart. We'll be back in a minute with a new arm on the mound.
Now pitching for the
Coming
Twins,
out of the bullpen for the Twins,
48,
Justin Topa.
Well, the best relievers love the opportunity to come in and protect a tight lead late in the ball game. Some of them are just wired different, so we'll see what he's got here.
Hey!
The changeup missing. Ball one. Lined into left center. Should be extra bases. Lead runner around second. Around third. He'll score and then tie it.
Huge at bat to bring home the tying run at this point in the game. A lot riding on this next at bat now as they look to take the lead at a critical point in this one.
Hey!
And that one clips the corner.
He's clearly out there throwing pitchers pitches in this situation. First base is open. He walks him. No big deal.
Swings and misses. Struck him out.
Nice work there to get the strikeout, and that's a big second out. I'll tell you, this home crowd will be fired up. They can get out of this and leave that go-ahead run stranded in scoring position. This is a big moment in this game.
Go-ahead run on base. Victor Scott digs in now. 0 for 3 in this one. And time is called for a match.
Oh, that's it.
And that one is in for a strike.
Definitely got the hitter conscious of the pitch inside. Really think the outer half is open.
Struck him out looking. Good job at damage control right there.
He's in a tough spot, had to make a great pitch, did it, got the strikeout, gets out of the jam. Clearly, he's happy with those results.
Back now, new pitcher on the mound as we roll into the bottom of the 8th, number 52.
Well, he's been a really tough guy to take deep this season. You usually have to string some hits together in order to get to him.
The second baseman, Caleb Culpepper.
You don't want to get beat by a fastball in, and he spits on that one.
Action in the St. Louis bullpen. Hunter Dobbins getting loose out there. Fouled off. He was late. Right side, hard hit. And that's one away as the leadoff man is out in the 8th.
Well, a come-and-get-me fastball right there. He didn't look ready for the velocity. I think it'd be a mistake to throw him anything off speed right here.
That one finds the zone. No balls, 2 strikes. Spoils a 2-strike pitch, and he'll see another. All tied up here, the bottom half of the 8th inning.
Ball, that's low.
In the dirt, it's 2-2. Got him looking. That's a strikeout.
Well, this is no secret. That slider is going to be his go-to pitch. Everyone in the ballpark knows it. It's a massive part of his arsenal, and he'll throw it a lot and in pretty much any count, any situation, and he's going to look to punch guys out as well. I tell you what, the effectiveness of that slider is always a big key for him.
Martin stands in now, looks at that one inside. Two down, nobody on.
Sold it really well with the arm speed.
I know.
Swung underneath it, so changeup that stayed a little bit more on plane than what he was anticipating.
The 1-1.
That's a ball.
And that one upstairs. Matt Wallner in the on-deck circle, hoping to get a chance to make a big impact here. And that's ball 4. And the go-ahead run is on base.
No, that's a really dangerous base runner to put on first, especially in a tie game. Now there might be some consequences coming from that mistake.
And time called at the plate. Maybe trying to slow things down here in a crucial spot. Step off throw to first.
No, he's safe.
Martin back in on a dive. Runner on the go. Pitch is low. Safe at second, and he easily steals the bag. And the go-ahead run is now in scoring position.
Looks like the base runner had a pretty good feel on the pitcher's move. After that pick over, seemed to settle in, and he took off right away. Nice job of stealing second right there.
Comes up empty. That's strike 2.
That pitch started in and ended up on the outside edge. Just changing planes and very difficult, especially for a left-hand.
A swing and a miss. That retires the side, and that'll do it. We go to the 9th, and stepping in for the Cardinals, Thomas Sajazi.
Yeah.
Check swing, went around, and that is strike 2. Got him swinging for the K. Looks like he's picked up right where he left off. So now a pinch hitter for the Cardinals, Lars Nootbaar. Looking to start something with one gone. Derek Shelton out of the dugout, and he on the mound now for the Twins, Anthony Banda.
Bringing in the lefty with a left-handed hitter coming up to hit. Classic bullpen move right here, so we'll see how it works out.
Ball, that's upstairs.
The 1-1.
Ball 2.
Tap to first. Bell steps on first for the out.
And he looked a little tentative on that swing, almost like he didn't get pitch recognition. Tried to slow his back down just to make contact. I'd rather see a guy swing through it instead of making weak contact and putting it in play. Have another pitch where maybe he can drive out of the ballpark.
2 down, nobody on.
Hey.
Goes down looking. It's the 9th, and we are tied. Bottom 9, and they've got a chance at a walk-off in this tie game. Now the cleanup hitter for Minnesota, Byron Buxton. Oh, can't pick it up cleanly. Still finds a way to get off a throw, and it's in time. It wasn't the smoothest play you'll see today, but they still get the out. Hit in the air, center field. And a couple of quick outs. Here's Josh Bell. 0 for 3. A fly out, a ground out, and a strikeout. Swings over the top of that one.
Nope.
2 down, nobody on. Here in the last half of inning number 9. Delivers a pitch in for a strike at 95.
Looked pretty good as far as being in the strike zone, but I'm sure as a hitter, not too good with where it was located. Very top of the strike zone, middle away.
2-2 down. And that one missing inside, a sharp slider. Otto Lopez in the on-deck circle, hoping to get a chance to make a big impact here. Foul. We'll see another payoff pitch. Trying to send this to extra innings. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. That's the 3rd out, and we'll play extra innings in this one. Down go the Twins in order. So no change in the score. It's 3-3. On to extra innings. Here's the Cardinal DH, Nolan Gorman. Man at second. And the slider just misses. Got him swinging.
He's locked in at the plate when he's using the whole field. He was out in front there. Just needs to let the ball travel a little more, and his timing will be back on track. Good pitch for the strikeout.
Derek Shelton out of the dugout, and he will make the move. Right through there for a strike. The Cards with the go-ahead run standing at second here in extra innings. This one in the air, center field. Brings it in. Runner tags at second. And he's up to third safely with 2 gone.
Up next for the Cardinals.
Go ahead run on base. Alec Burleson next up for the Cardinals. There's the strike. Worm burner into the outfield for a knock. Runner from third in to score. It's an RBI single, and they've got the lead in extra innings.
Well, he comes through clutch with the RBI single. That was big. Wasn't able to elevate that one, but he sure hit it hard enough to get through the infield. There's not a whole lot of time for the defender. To react and try to make a play when it's ripped like that.
Drilled out towards left center field. That's well struck. That one carrying. Gone. Straight into the visitor's bullpen.
Love to see a hitter aggressive on the first pitch of an at-bat. You watch him from the on-deck circle, so when you step in the box, you're ready to pull the trigger wherever it's at. Really good job by the hitter. Total conviction on that swing.
That misses, and it's 2-1.
He's getting a little frustrated out there on the mound, getting hit around a little bit. Let's see if he can settle himself down.
Just missed. And there's a rocket into the outfield. Joey gets on base and keeps it going.
Up next for the Cardinals,
Victor Scott next up for the Cardinals. 0 for for 2 strikeouts and 2 groundouts. in the dirt. The 1-1. And that one is inside. Already 3 runs across in the frame here in the top half of the 10th. Scott thought that one missed, and here comes a challenge. So the call will stand. So they'll lose their first challenge. Outside low. And now 3-2.
Great RBI spot here. Just got to stay focused on the pitch. The runner will be in motion, so something in the gap should definitely score it.
Out towards right center. That's well struck. Way back there. It's got a chance. Reaching for it and brings it in. Last chance to even. We're back, and on the mound is the closer, Matt Swanson.
I think closer has to be one of the toughest jobs in baseball, and we see a pretty high turnover rate because of it. Every outing seems to be high pressure, this one included. We'll see if he can wrap up the win and get himself a save.
Lopez can't hold up, and that's a strike.
Ball 1.
High fly ball lifted in the air right field. He makes the grab. Runner tags at second.
Up next for the Twins, the catcher, Ryan Shepherd.
Ball inside. Pass ball 2.
Ground ball left side. Tosses to first. 2 away. So they're down to their final out. Now it's the second baseman, Kalen Culpepper. 0 for 3 with 2 ground outs and a strikeout. That one outside. Ball 1. And a foul ball. The Cardinals trying to close out a 3-run lead, and here in extra innings. That missed by a lot. Ball 2. Fastball is outside.
Pressure mountain right here with the tying run in the on-deck circle. He's got to find the strike zone.
Swing and a foul out of play. The Twins down to their final strike, and that'll bring the tying run to the plate.
Well, that'll bring the tying run to the plate, so all eyes on the man coming to the dish right now.
That's out.
Time
We got
call.
time.
Not close with that one, and the count now 2-0.
Tough spot right here. A couple runners on. 2-ball count. You can't nibble, but you have to execute and finish your pitch. If you leave something out over the plate, it's going to bring in some runs.
The tying run at the plate. And that's in there at the knees for a strike.
Well, an interesting situation. One swing you can tie up the ball game, but if you're patient and work a walk, then you bring the game-winning run to the plate.
And they're all loaded up.
Good patience to take that walk and keep the line moving, and it sets up a critical at-bat coming up with the bases loaded here.
Austin Martin will hit next. Off the mark there. And that is ball 1. A bit behind with that swing. It's strike one.
Well, you got to find a way to catch up to that pitch. Perhaps shorten the swing, eliminate the stride. That one came in hot, but right down the middle, you're saying to yourself, how did I miss that pitch? Got to make a quick adjustment.
So they're all loaded up. Swing and a miss as he chases that one darting out of the zone. Three-two now. He fouls it off. Will do it again. And with 2 outs and the count full, the runners will be on the move. Lifted in the air, left field, pretty well struck. Nootbaar under it. He's got it. Ball game. And the Cardinals come in here and finish off a 3-game sweep.